Greetings and welcome to our series of weekly devotionals. This week we're diving into one of Paul's epistles, his first letter to the Thessalonians. I've mentioned before a conversation I had with a relative of mine who lives by what I would call a sort of scorecard mentality. I did a favor for her and she said, "Thank you, but just so you know, Bob, I'm still 5 favors ahead of you." She keeps score with the favors that she does. And, I think a lot of our society works this way. We keep score, we compete. And the work we do, the good things we do because we expect some kind of reward. Now, you would think this kind of attitude, this kind of behavior would be absent from churches. At least I've always thought that way. Some pastor friends of mine think I'm foolish because I offer to do weddings for free, and they think I should be rewarded monetarily for my time, and I think, well, that's just something I'm called to do. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think that's just what Christian ministers should do. I remember as a kid hearing of a local parish priest who was driving around in a Rolls Royce, and another story about a priest that I had heard that he had been scammed out of $500,000 by some investment fraud. And I thought to myself, aren't these guys supposed to be taking a vow of poverty? It certainly didn't seem that way. Of course, the Rolls Royce and the $500,000 are nothing compared to what some of the televangelists in our country make, who claim to be Christians but drive around in private jets and live in multi-million-dollar mansions and preach a message that says that, if you're faithful and good and righteous, you do so to be rewarded financially, to be given a happy life. And, well, I just don't think that's the gospel message. Paul, in his letter to the Thessalonians, writes, "As you know, and as God is our witness, we never came with words of flattery or with a pretext for greed, nor do we seek praise from mortals, whether from you or from others, though we might have made demands as apostles of Christ." Paul, as a respected apostle, as a learned apostle, someone who had been trained as a Pharisee, was certainly someone in founding all of these, working hard to found all these Christian churches, who could have expected some repayment for all of his hard work, some reward for his work as an apostle of Christ. But he says in these verses, though we might have made those kinds of demands, we didn't. Instead, he says, but we were gentle among you, like a nurse tenderly caring for her children. Caring for the poor, the weak, the most vulnerable, thinking about others before oneself, serving the greater good instead of worrying about individual wealth and prosperity. That, to me, is what the gospel is all about. And, if you're preaching something else, it seems to me you're not really preaching the gospel. So my challenge for you today is go out and do something nice for someone. Do a favor for someone, and don't expect them to return the favor. Amen.